this was a game where coming out of it, I think it's important not to move the goalposts. You got a lot of people saying, Wisconsin's not as good as we thought they were. I think Wisconsin's defense is as good as we thought it was.
Yeah.
And because of that, this was a significant test for Michigan to pass, and they were able to do so.
Yeah, we had this one circled all season as really the benchmark to figure out where the team was. And, you like what you saw. I agree. I don't think Wisconsin's a world beater this year, but that defense, they are. That's a really, really good defense. I agree. I don't think you move the goalpost either way. I don't think you take away from what Wisconsin is or who they are. And I don't think you start looking forward too much at this point either. You get ready this week for the next and focus in on that. Don't get too far ahead of yourself and keep building on some good things right now.
You said something last week, and players say it a lot. Jack, you say, look, man, they got scholarship guys on the other side too. And Wisconsin was number one in the country is a rush defense for a reason. It's not just Jim Leonard. They have guys, man. They have guys.
Right.
And we saw that. I think it was their second fourth down. So if you go to fourth and short, number 2, Jack, fourth and short, number 2, split zone versus 4-eye. We talked to Devin about this yesterday. Can you explain what I mean when I say 4-eye while I bring up the clip?
Usually a defensive lineman in that gap is what they call a 3 technique, which is he's sitting outside of the guard shoulder. When you get into a 4-eye, you're on the inside shoulder of the tackle. And, when you talk about it like that, it doesn't sound all that complex, right? But for years, blocking schemes have been based around having defensive linemen on the guard or outside of the tackle. So when you muddy the waters like that and put a guy inside of a tackle, it just makes communication and getting up to the second level a bit harder. We'll see here on this play. Go ahead and run it. So the first thing to say when you get in these 4-eye looks, this is not a great play to run this into. You'll see in the replay here, Hayes gets beat at the point of attack. That's the number one problem right now. He's on an island there. When you're 4th and 1, you want as many double teams as you can get. You don't have one there. You got your left tackle out leveraged, an inside guy. He's trying to wash him down the line of scrimmage. And this is the number 1 rush defense in the country for a reason, right? They're good. That front 7 is really good. They penetrate, they get there. You really don't have much of a chance there. Being out leveraged. And then because he's in that 4-eye, the stoutest and the left guard here should be trying to get up to that linebacker, but they're forced to go straight ahead. And there's nobody to account for that other linebacker here. Like I said, even if Hayes doesn't get beat, you see the open man. They don't do a good job on either linebacker. The one's going to be unblocked. The other one's going to get off of the block. It's just an out leveraged look to run into this play. You'd like something a little more like we saw later, some of those wedge plays where you can just get downhill and get a yard really quick, right? This is just kind of too muddy for 4th and 1 for my taste.
Now, Devin said, I said, let me ask a lineman about this. Devin said, hey, I would love to see, instead of having the double team up to the linebacker, talking about Stoutest and Keegan, he said, I'd love to see Keegan come off of that and double team that 4-eye, because that inside shade, Ryan Hayes has to get across his face to cut him off, right, Jay? He has to get across his face to cut him off.
In an ideal world, or at least just get enough wash, right? Just run him down the line of scrimmage. But what you can't do on 4th and 1, which is what happens, is give up any kind of penetration. That will almost guarantee to stall out a 4th and 1.
Right. And so he said, well, how about Keegan and Hayes double team that 4-eye? But then you leave the stoutest 1-on-1 on the nose. Yeah. Is that an ideal scenario for you, Jack, having played center?
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know what their right call should have been here, and most importantly is to make sure that they go with consistently what they know, so that they're always on the same page. Right. When you start getting off and doing weird things, is when you get yourself in trouble. That being said, I don't disagree with what Devin's comments about that. You'd like to see a stronger double team, even if you don't get up to the linebacker. Without that penetration there, you're going to let your running back get downhill and have a full, head of steam. He can hit somebody, break an arm tackle, fall forward. The last thing you can afford, like I said, is this penetration, which just muddies it up, right? So if that double team is able to get some movement, even if you don't get to the linebackers, you're giving your running back a chance. I do like that call.